Hello and welcome to May's Let's Plays, and today we're starting a new playthrough on my YouTube channel of Kerbal Space Program. Now this is a game that if you follow me on Twitter, or not Twitter, wrong one. If you follow me on Twitch, there we go. We've been playing a little bit of, and essentially this is going to be edited. I'm going to edit out some of the fails, the less successful, less interesting, and it's basically so you can see more of the game without watching me send up a ship 6 times in a row each time. But so let's get going. We'll call ourselves, we are the Lanyard Ends. There we go. We'll play in career mode, even though I'm not a big fan of it, but like I said, when I'm playing on my own it'll be a lot easier. I don't have to worry about keeping everyone happy. As well, I just thought I need to turn the music on because I have it off. Let's have the Kerbal flag. I like it. It makes us seem like we're actually going into NASA space. I honestly nearly put on some copyrighted music there, but that would have been a fool. So yeah, I know about all this, because I play this game constantly. Right. I'll turn them all up to 50. Hopefully that's going to be okay. I won't know until I check the recordings afterwards, so we'll find out if that's okay. Apply. Accept. Okie dokie. Right, so let's go check the missions. Launch our first spaceship and gather scientific data. So that's pretty much, they're pretty easy goals to achieve. So we just need to launch a ship. Let's see what we got here. Hello there, Chief Engineer. I'll take a command pod, thank you. And we'll just take a flea rocket booster. And a nice little parachute. That's all we need. So then we can take some data. We'll also take some from the launch pad. See how it's all going there, you know. I'm just going to turn this down in my ears just to make sure that I'm not getting distracted by the music. I'm not used to having music, so... We'll also take some mystery goo containers. Because, why not? Why not? We're here for science! And science is what we shall do. You know, I've not listened to the music in this game for a long time. It's actually really good. It's better than I remember it. Alright, so we'll take a crew report from sat on the launch pad. No, we won't. I lie. We'll take a goo report, and then we'll take crew reports from when we're flying. So turn SAS on. There we go. Crew report. Thank you. So there we go. We've completed 3 missions there. We've launched a first one, set a speed record, and we've collected science from Kerbal. Let me go and clear them. There we go. Pop the chute. And it's literally, we're just going to wait until we fall back down to Kerbal. Now I could have sped this up by waiting for to pop the chute, but it's just a bad habit of mine. Because it does create drag, even though as you see it's not open at the minute, it does create drag. I will go into a bit of science about all of this, but until we get the ability to see the science and whatnot, then I'm just going to leave it at basically this is just a rocket. Oh, actually, while we're flying, take a goo container. Thank you. We've already taken the crew report, haven't we? Yes, we have. I was going to say, otherwise we'd get him out and get him to do a crew report. So he just basically went straight up, popped our chute, and coming straight back down. And I'm just wobbling, so it's visually interesting for you. Do. Let's turn it up so we don't go too hard. Come on, pop chute. They've changed when I used to play it, parachutes basically just brought you to a dead stop. They didn't deploy slowly, they just went bang, and you went whoo, and basically they worked a bit differently, so it's, I just forget that now. But anyway, we've come safely back down. We can land at 6 meters per second. Just nominal. Let's go EVA. Take a crew report. And drop down. Hey, tell us what it's like on the... Oh, balls. I forgot to put the new crew EVA report. Anyway, right. Recover vessel. Because we can always do this again later on when it's needed. Go and collect cheap science from Kerbal. Kerbal? Kerbal. Yeah, Kerbin, sorry. Jeez, I don't know what's up with me. I actually do. I've had a very busy day today. I've done a lot of Twitch recording, and obviously I'm doing a bit of this recording. I'm going to turn the microphone down, so if I suddenly got very quiet there, that's why. But I've done a couple hours. Hey there, welcome to the tracking centre. Recover my vessel. We got 35 science, we got a lot of the money back. And we completed our contract, so we cannot say fairer than that. Can't say fairer than that, there can. Right, so here's the option, right? Do we go down the engineering path and get more science, so we can get science quicker? Or do we go down the rocketry path so we can get up higher? Obviously science all the way, baby, because we are scientists after all. We will need to go up here, but I'm saying our main focus is going to be pretty much getting to here, electronics, so we can get the solar panels. Then we'll focus and come round up on the heavy rocketry and all that. And the reason for that is just that solar panels are obviously useful. You don't have to then worry about your batteries running out. You can plan longer missions. So that's going to be our plan. We're going to go down and do a lot of science, all down the science side of it, and then we'll go up and do the rocketry side. I need to go and get a mission, otherwise I'm just flying for the sake of it. And while I appreciate that, it's not what we're doing right now. So our missions available are to escape the atmosphere and orbit Kerbal. Really, is that it? We got no more? Alright, we gotta set these. I'm guessing that it's because these are active, so okay, I can't reject those, but let's go and do them then. Or if we got to turn these in. Why are the missions not popped up? Right, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Like I said, I don't normally. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't normally play on career mode. I normally play on scientific mode, just for my own sanity. This money meter, while really interesting, I just don't like upgrading some stuff. That's just me. It's just the way I am. Aha. Alright, so let's go into our vehicle assembly building and let's build something that can get us the needed height. So we've used the flea. Did as well. Not bad. I'll never say no. But as you can see here, we've got, where is it? Does it say the ALS thrust? Well, you can see here the flea's got a thrust of 179.2 in atmosphere. The other one, that's thrust in a vacuum. So if we look at then this hammer we've got here, that's 200. So that's nearly, well, that's a whole bunch more basically. I was going to say it's nearly, but I can't think. So let's do the exact same mission, just flying up, coming straight back down, with our new booster. And while we're at it, yeah, we'll stick a Science Junior on there while we're at it. Actually, what would be a good idea? So I'm just thinking here, like, what would be a good idea is to put 2 of them on. Then we can get one while we're sat at the one while we're sat on the launch pad, and then one while we're flying, and we still might be able to set a record or 2. That's thinking with your ass. So if we take a observation the bay now. Observation? Observe the bay now. Observe one of the ghouls now. As you can see, because we did it first time, it's not as worth as much science, let's say, because that's pretty much what it means. But right, do the crew report now. 17 science, not crew report. Do the science bay, and as you can see, what you're seeing here is that basically we're going too fast. That we're getting a lot of air resistance. I just set the world speed record though. And let's go towards the water. Let's try and fall in the water for a different landing zone. Turn off SAS so we're less stable. Oh, there we go. Right. We've set a new world altitude record. We are the highest Kerbals that have ever been. And take a crew report. Alright, no. We're not over the water yet. So I'm just pointing the rocket, even though we've got no thrust, because we are sort of aerodynamically built, we'll fall towards the water. If you get the idea, it's like a dart. When you're throwing a dart, you can sort of direct it by if the nose is pointing up or down. That's essentially what we're doing here, so let me speed it up. Coming down. Are we going to make it into the water, actually? I'm kind of worried now. Point more towards the water, not straight down. See if I can rock it over. Rock it over. Come on, rock it over. And I'm saying like rock as in backwards and forwards, not rock as in rocket, and I'm being clever. Because I'm not that clever. Essentially is the problem there. Right. It all went wrong. Pop the chute. We'll just take it from where we can get it. So there we go. Flip the rocket back over. We're coming in a little bit faster than last time because obviously our ship is heavier. We've got some new equipment on it. Lost a bit of money, but hey, what are you going to do? That's thingy from there. Let's take a crew report from the shores. And this time I'm going to remember to take an EVA report. It's flying over the shore. Drop down. There you go. Take a crew report from the Kerbal shore. Walk out a bit, and can I take a surface sample? No. But that's a bit more science. We'll see how much we got when we recover the vessel. There is a way of it, like you can hop him back in. You can recover the vessel with the Kerbal in it. But I know why. I just find it easier to leave him out and then go and collect it separately. It's just what I do. 2 science off. 2 science off from getting our next science, which is the thermometer, and we get a probe then, so we don't have to risk our great and noble Kerbal's lives, because we can just send up a probe. So let's go and see what I clicked on the wrong building there. I meant to go for the missions control. Yeah, mission control is how you'd say it. Whatever this one's classed as. So nope, I've not got any specific missions from space agencies like test our product, please. Now, if you remember, I've heard this music before. This music's been in a game that I play a lot. What's this music from? Oh, that's gonna bug me now. That's gonna bug me. I've heard this a lot. Sorry. Anyway. Alright, so. Why am I building a ship like this, you may ask? That's a very good question. Essentially, what I'm doing here is saying, hey, what does the runway look like? So I'll observe our goo while it's on the runway. You can see it's a different place. Observe our materials bay as well. Yep. Take a crew report. And then we'll go EVA. I think this will class as, yeah, the Kerbal shore. But, grab a crew report. Hup. See if I can jump him back on. Jump. No. Alright. So I'll just recover the vessel. I've just realised if you hear a scratchy sound, I'm sat right next to the gerbils today, so. Because I'm hearing it through my headphones, I'm like, what the hell is that scratchy sound? It's the gerbils. Who are actually named after the Kerbals. Just chewing away, looking at me. Because I'm their mum. Alright, let's go get basic science, which will give us the thermometer. A lot of this at the beginning until we get some of the higher stuff. Basically, I always say that as soon as we get to fuel systems and we've got electronics, that's when this game really opens up. Because fuel systems, you get the external fuel ducts, which means you can build more sophisticated rockets. And as I've said before, as soon as you get even these basic solar panels, you can do longer missions out into space. Because as you can imagine, if you've got as you can imagine, if you've got a rocket that uses power, like this one, then sending someone up with a power source or a way to regenerate that power is incredibly useful. Right. Let's get out of this atmosphere. We're done with this planet. We're not. We're nowhere near done with this, but hey, you gotta add a bit of flavour. Kerbal is fed up. He wants to go out and see the world. I'm thinking this is one of my personal vehicles. I terrible for putting tons of batteries on them. That'll be fine, actually. Actually, no, I'm going to stick on some parachutes. There's 2 more extra parachutes to make sure it brings it down safely. And because we're going to go a lot faster, but basically we're going to spend more money on this rocket. And where we were using solid rocket boosters before, as you saw, I just pressed enter and they went. This time we'll have more control. There we go. That looks disgusting, I will say that. That looks like the most ugly rocket ever. But it will definitely get us out of the atmosphere and out into what is classed as space. So there we go. Let's turn SAS on. As you can see now, the throttle becomes important because I can control how much fuel I'm pushing in and out of the engine, into the engine, which is obviously down here. Which, if you understand, like in a car, when you press the pedal, it's the throttle. That's all I'm doing. But if you're burning something like a piece of coal, you can't really control how much of the coal is burning at a time. But if you're burning oil, then you can say, hey, burn a little bit less oil, burn a bit more oil. And that's why it's not important when you're doing solid rocket boosters, but it is when you start doing liquid filled rocket boosters. And there's basic rocket science for you. But so we gotta go really fast, we gotta go really far, and we gotta go really high, which, to be honest with you, is all pretty much going to be done in this mission, because we're sort of in the atmosphere right now. I don't think it's classed as the atmosphere, but as you can see here on our little atmospherometer, this is sea level, as it were. This is where you can breathe normally. This would be like top of mountains. This bit is sort of edge of space, and then this bit here is space. So we've just gone... We're touching the top of mountains now. We're getting to the peak of mountains, where mountains would reach, where it's safe for Kerbals to habitate? To have their habitats. Look at that. Look how high we are. Alright. So even though we're not going to do it, let's go for an orbital insertion and flip over. We're not exactly aerodynamic right now, but... Well, we're not bad. It's just I think I turned that a little bit. Doesn't help that this rocket here is a mainsail rocket, which essentially all it's good for is push. It's not very good at steering. It can only push. And now we're flying backwards from the way I wanted to go. But anyway, quick. While I'm thinking about it, do some science. So we're in the upper atmosphere. Take GRU reports. Take a crew report. And then let's just fall back down to Kerbal. Think we're going to get into the water? Well, of course we are. But there we go. So we have set an altitude record. We've set 2 altitude records. We've gone 500 meters away from where we launched, like as the crow flies. We've not set a speed record yet, but to be honest with you, we probably would have been able to do it if we hadn't have started flipping over, but that was my fault. And like I said, this is more of a mainsail engine than a directional, which I'll show you when we unlock a directional engine, what the difference between a mainsail, which is this, and what a directional one. There we go, we've achieved another one, and you can see there's a perfect example of what I was talking about, atmosphere. You see that we were flying down horizontal for a while, and then suddenly we've just flipped back up vertical. There was no atmosphere. At the point where we were horizontal, there was pretty much no atmosphere. So we were falling like a piece of paper. But with the way that this rocket is set up, which is the bottom's really heavy and the top's really heavy, so we're stable, it pushed us up. The air resistance on the top was more than on the bottom, so it flipped. Like, basically, you get it. When you throw a pencil, there you go. That's a good example of how that works. Like I said, all this will become a lot easier to explain when I get the... I have got one mod installed as well, I will say that. I've got the mech jab, but That's just to help me on other projects that I'm running, and for later on when we get into do a lot of launches and whatnot, that I'm not having to sit here all the time and make sure it's in a perfect orbit. When you guys are happy that you know what I'm doing, then I'll just leave it to do autopilot and save me some time and effort, really. Because I'm planning on building the international International Jack Chopé, Potato Chopé, that was it. Was the name that a couple of people came up with. But fuck me, we lost our science bay, which is really bad because that had 17 science for us. We obviously fell a little bit too hard. So recover vessel. We lost our science bay. That is actually really annoying. There's 17 science in there, god damn it! Alright, just go recover them all. Because even if there's nothing on it, we can get a bit of money for them. Oh my god, I gotta do it like part by part. There we go. You got crew, Kerbal atmosphere, EVAs. So there we go. That was... We got a little bit... Well, we got most of the money back there, apart from that goddamn science bay. That was annoying. What else we got? More distance records. Well, let's just keep going up. And you see, we learned here. What did we learn? That time we came down too straight. So next time we come down, we want to be pointing more flat. Or the other option is, of course, sticking more parachutes on. So we come down a bit more even. And I'm trying to think now, because that'll fall. If we go in... I'll try and land it, basically. We'll try and do a better... Oh, there we go. I didn't realise we got the attach. There we go. We got a stacked decoupler. That'll help. I didn't realise we had them yet. So, what this is basically going to do now is when we've used up all our fuel in here, instead of bringing it back down with us like we were, and it was making us heavier, and that's why the science bay got destroyed, we'll just jettison it. We'll just say goodbye and fly off on our own. Which, of course, means that we can use a little bit more fuel. For no other reason that we don't have to worry about this getting damaged or hurt or destroyed during the operation. Whereas before we had to be very mindful of what would happen when it came falling back down to Kerbal. So let me take a temperature reading from the launch bay. There we go. Power up the rocket, turn SAS on, and go! And once again, we're not really aiming for anything other than to test our equipment and get a little bit of science from this and that. In fact, I'm going to cancel that one and review data. Temperature scan, keep the data. Log temperature, there we go. Overwrite it, because that's going to offer us more science because we're flying. Turn us down because we're reaching terminal velocity. Oh, we flipped! God damn it, we flipped! Right. Can I get it back under control? There we go, we're back under control. We just had a little bit of a turnover. Okay, flip over again. It's fine, keep flipping. There we go, this is how you control a rocket. Every time we kind of point the way we want to go, we'll fire. This has gone wrong! This has gone wrong! This is not the launch. Like I said, this is the reason that I was planning on editing it, and I don't do it much on streams, is for when stuff like this goes wrong. Sometimes I run out of little bits of things to say, and there's little tweaks and whatnot that I'll have to do, and every so often something goes wrong that you just can't, or I can't foresee. Other people will probably understand it a bit better. But, right, so let's revert flight back to launch, and this time I'm not going to cut the engine down at all, but it's going to go straight up all the time. Full throttle, YOLO. Alright, ready, go! Hands off the keyboard. We're just going to go straight up. We got to achieve an altitude record, and hopefully the speed record of 750 meters per second. Hopefully we can get that, but let's just go fast. Right, hands are still off the keyboard, but it did occur to me. We're launching at full throttle, which is obviously causing us problem. Let's cut down our throttle. We'll go for 25%. And we'll not go up as quickly. Which, yes, we'll use more fuel here, but the higher we get, because we're not fighting against so much air resistance, should help. It's either that or it's aerodynamically unstable somewhere, and I'm just being silly and missing it. Cheeky Drink Time today is sponsored by Iron Brew, even though it's not a sponsor. I just have some Iron Brew next to me because Iron Brew is the best. And it's not the South African drink, 'cause apparently there's a South African drink called Iron Brew, and I didn't know that. I learned that the other day, someone was telling me. They showed me a picture, and like, is this Iron Brew? And I'm like, I've never seen that before in my life. Did a bit of research, it's South African. There you go. Little factoid for you in the morning, or evening, or whenever you happen to be watching this. There we go, we're going a lot slower now. We're doing a lot more controlled ascent. We're probably not doing this as efficiently because we are spending so much time in the thicker atmosphere, but we're not reached terminal velocity. Basically, we're not struggling. There we go. This is perfect now. We're not gaining speed, we're not losing speed, so we're getting to the point now that we're pushing through the atmosphere, pushing through. Like, we're gonna pop it. There we go. Speed's gone back up. We are still going really fast, so I'm going to cut the engine throttle down a bit. Keep pushing through. Okay, I pushed it up, pushed it down. Okay, push it up. Wow, that's on a hair dime there. The difference between it. We need to get to 26 kilometers. I'm just going to keep going up. In fact, no, I'm going to go do a slight orbital insertion. Not much, just a little bit. Stop us flipping over. Obviously, when we get better engines and whatnot, we can flip into orbit a lot lower and we don't have to worry so much. But because we're using a mainsail in our reaction wheels, we basically got things just ramming against the wall to make us go over, which is why we've not got much control. But when we get engines that can turn on a gimbal, then doing orbital insertions becomes a lot easier and all that malarkey. So, almost at 20,000 feet. We need to get to 26, and we've got half a fuel tank left. I don't think we're going to make it, but we're out of the atmosphere. Go for it. Burn! Burn, my baby, burn! Alright, let's go into map mode. How high are we going to get on our apoaps? Oh, we're going to do it. We're going to achieve it. And, that's a point, we are out of the atmosphere. We are in the upper Kerbal atmosphere. Let's go do some science. Take a crew report. Of course, we already did all these, but we lost it. Cannot disembark. We need a better thingy. That's fair enough. We need a better astronaut complex before they'll get out of the spaceship to go and do some science. And I'm going to wait until we get a little bit lower, I think, before I go and attach the bottom bit, just so that the parachute... In fact, no, we'll do it. Why did they not fire? Why did those parachutes not fire? They were meant to fire, goddammit! So basically, I don't know if we'll be able to recover that, but we should, because it's got parachutes on it, but for some reason they've not fired! And now we're a lot lighter, so we don't have to worry as much. Oh, look at that, we can pretty much see it all the way down. There we go! There you go, you can see the difference now. That's how fast we'd be falling if it was attached. Plus the speed and the weight of this would be on it, so we'd be going really fast. We'd be there if we were still attached. And, whoop. Oh, there you go, there's the parachute working. We've got enough of an atmosphere. And we've got to be careful it doesn't land on top of us, actually, so I'm going to try and steer us into, or out of its path. Which is the wrong way. We want to go this way, please. 270 on the nav ball. 270, there we go. So we're trying to steer ourselves back towards the coast so we don't get hit by our debris. and we're almost at the point that we'll want to deploy our parachutes. If we are quick enough, I will say we can just deploy them before it comes and hits us. Do we do water science on the goo? I don't know. I'll have to check. Alright, if we're quick enough, we can land, do some water. I apologise for that. Do some water science, and then go off and have some nice tea and wait for the splashdown of the debris. So pop our chutes and flip over, please. Come on, flip over. I gotta do it before we hit 500 meters when the parachute's fully deployed, otherwise we'll flip over the wrong way. Oh, there we go. We flipped over the wrong way, and I'm not going to be able to fight a parachute. Oh, am I? Am I? There we go. So we managed to just wangle ourselves up, and that's never going to catch us now, because you got to remember our parachutes are fully deployed. They've got 4, so they've got more parachutes, and we've got 5 kilometers on them, so we are pretty safe, and they're not going to fall anywhere near us anyway. Let me speed up time. There is a very interesting thing about this game in time, which is obviously you don't want to sit here the whole time it's falling and wait for it, and no. So there is a time walk mechanic. But if you're under a certain point, you can still time warp, but oh, there you go, you can see their parachutes have literally just deployed, falling, suddenly stopped. But as you can see, these are red. That basically means that physics is still applying. That, whoop, that was a weird noise. That I can still control the ship, that the ship's physics is still working and everything. You'll see when we get further out that you can sort of speed up time without having to worry about things going wrong. Like I said, it'll be easy to explain when we're off doing it. So let's go recover the vessel and come home glorious champions, because we have left the Kerbal atmosphere once again. So let's see what science we got. We got 2 from the crew report, 22.5 from upper atmosphere studies, 2.1 from mystery goo, 4 from mystery goo. So we got more for putting water in it than we did from it being up in the atmosphere. Temperature scans, and recover a vessel. We got 5 grand back from that mission, and Kermin got no experience. So basically, still our missions are just get high. But we will attempt this probably another day, because actually, let's go and open up a tech. Let's have a look. We might need general rocketry, just to help us achieve a bit more stability would be nice. Let's get general rocketry, and then we'll save up for our most beloved electronics. Actually, let's have a look. Advanced rocketry. Yes, let's wait now for our electronics. Then we will be ready to start putting things in orbit and really starting to make our name for ourselves in our Kerbal adventure. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. I do, on this episode of Kerbal Space Program, I do Twitch if you'd like to see me live and come and join the discussion. I Twitch from 10 AM GMP till pretty much whenever I stop. So it could be 1, 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon. Depends on how much fun we're having. If you can join us then, that'd be great. If not, don't worry about it. And if you like this series and want to see more of it, remember to leave a comment, a like, and all that malarkey. And remember, guys, that I've been May. You guys have been fabulous. And always, always look after yourselves, people. Goodbye.